What's up, everyone? So today we're going to be doing Mars in the sign of Aquarius and what happens when Mars is in the sign of Aquarius in your horoscope. Well, what is the sign of Aquarius? Aquarius represents your network circle. It represents like your hopes and wishes. It represents having those worldly desires of bringing the world together. It's about logical reasoning. It's about scientific reasoning, scientific research. It's bringing the world together to discuss theories about the world. It's about socializing. It's about partying. All of these things are controlled by the zodiac sign of Aquarius. This is why it's a very eccentric sign. It's a hardest sign to figure out, like who these people are. Like they will one day they will come dressed normally. The next day they will have like one red shoe, one blue shoe, one socks is not there, one socks is there, and so they're just quite eccentric in that manner. So you put Mars here. Mars, who is the soldier, who is your vitality, your willpower, your ability to fight, your ability to achieve your goals. You put Mars here. Well, first of all, Mars is quite confused in this sign. Why? And why has he excelled in Capricorn? Because both of these signs are controlled by Saturn. And Mars is excelled in its sign of Capricorn. But here it's confused. Because this is the Mool Trikona sign of Saturn. And this sign is all. And so Saturn feels that, my enemy is in my home. And a lot of people say Saturn and Mars are neutral. No, they're not neutral. They really do their energies do not go well together. It's like mixing oil and water. They will never mix. So this is why this is a very tough place for Mars to be in, because here Saturn is like, I don't like you in my apartment. I don't like you being in my house. And Mars' energy is not something that is compatible with what Aquarius is. Aquarius is that, hey, everybody come together. Let's discuss how to bring the world together. Hey, everybody, let's come together and let's everybody win together. And Mars energy is like, I want to win. I want to achieve. I want to go out there and win the war for the king. Why do I have to be in the circle where everybody's singing Kumbaya and everybody wants to just like everybody wants to be a winner at the same time? That's not, I don't like this scenario. Come on, let's be competitive. Let's take some action. Let's go out and play some games. So here's Mars, sometimes he's confused, and so sometimes when he strives to achieve things, he's not able to, because the slow moving Saturn moves slow because he takes 2.5 years to complete its sign. Saturn is like, no, the goals that you're trying to achieve are not going to be achieved that quickly. So depending upon where Mars is placed in your horoscope in the sign of Aquarius, those are the places that you're going to struggle a lot to achieve those goals. One day you will have the energy to achieve them. You will go and get the task done. The next day you'll be like, I just don't feel like doing this. I don't like this. Because Mars here is now forced to think scientifically. Mars in this sign, and no matter in what house, is forced to think through a cosmic point of view. And Mars is like, dude, I don't want to look at the stars. I don't want to, go out and like talk about Pleiades and aliens and bringing the world together. We got a task to do. We got things to do. Let's do it. So this is why Mars feels very confused here. Mars is like, what am I doing? Okay, I am doing it, but it's like I don't feel myself here. So it's hard for them to achieve the goal. They do it with time, because Saturn is like, well, I'll let you achieve your goals, but only on my terms. And my terms are being patient. But of course, let's say Mars is in the 10th house, which is like a very, exalted placement for Mars. And yet that's when he's in Aquarius. That's when you can say that Mars will do a lot better than any other placement for Mars in the sign of Aquarius. Here they can make great managers. They can make great network computer engineers. They can make great scientists or researchers who go out in caves and who go out looking for things, discovering things, because the drive is now there career-wise. But let's say Mars in an Aquarius in the 4th house, they're going to be confused about the home life. They'll be like, am I doing the right thing as a mother? Am I doing the right thing as a father, a husband, or a wife? One day they'll be motivated, the next day they'll leave the kitchen the way it is. And so it becomes a very eccentric thing unless Mars is especially in Upacha houses, 3, 6, and 10, not even 11. If Mars is in 3, 6, and 10, it'll do a whole lot better in the sign of Aquarius than versus all the other houses. Because again, like remember Rahu in Pisces? How I did the video of Rahu in Pisces and he was just out of his element. He's like, where am I? He was like in the Matrix or something. So Mars here, in the sign of his enemy, in the Multrikon sign of his enemy, feels out of element. He's like, like if somebody puts you in your enemy house, you'll be like agitated. Of course you have a roof over your head. Of course you're being protected from the heat and the rain and the wind and the predators out there. But again, you are sitting in a very uncomfortable place where even if you were to watch TV, you will not enjoy that television show because you're at a place where you just don't like to be in. This is what happens with Mars's energy in Aquarius. And the way it can unfold itself, the way it can come out of it, as if Mars has an aspect from Saturn, aspect from Jupiter, or Mars is in conjunction with his friends, so that's where Mars can find a lot more comfort. It's like my best friend and I are in my enemy's home. All right, I have some comfort, I have some safety. But if let's say Mars is in Aquarius, in any house, yet it's in a certain nakshatra that will also determine how Mars will behave. Now Mars in the sign of Aquarius comes under 3 different nakshatra. Dhanishta, Shastrabisha, and Purva Bhadrapada. And these nakshatra, the first 6 degrees, I believe, is controlled by Mars. And then the middle 13 degrees are controlled by Rahu. And then the last 13 degrees are controlled by Jupiter. So Mars feels a lot more comfortable and better in the first 6.40 degrees, I believe, of his own nakshatra. And then the last nakshatra where Jupiter comes into play, because Jupiter is Mars's best friend. And Mars in his own nakshatra feels a whole lot more comfortable. It's like saying, you're in an enemy's house, yet you're with a friend. Or you have certain familiar things with you and you feel a bit more comfortable. Not all the way comfortable, but you feel a bit more comfortable. And then the padhas of the nakshatra have another deeper angle to it. So in padha 1 of Rahu's nakshatra will be far more, agitating to Mars's psyche versus the padha 4, because padha 4 is leaning more towards Jupiter's padha. And then in Jupiter's padha, he'll feel again a different wavelength. So you have to fine tune your Mars in Aquarius to really see what's happening. But overall, it's not in his element. Okay, so guys, this was my analysis of Mars in the sign of Aquarius. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Mars is placed and what aspects and nakshatra it's sitting in, check out the link below. Check out my book there, Astrology, the Speed of Light. And when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow with Mars in the sign of Pisces. Bye-bye.
Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. I represent, this is what I do. To any beat, anyway, I'ma give it to you. Best beware, open your ears to the truth as I push. I'm the man, I list the plan, fool. Any best that I kick is for your mind, fool. I'm a pimp, so I'll be up in your